have the girls of St. Francis taking on the Aptos Mariners. That's coming up for you next here in the CTV doubleheader game of the week. And we are here with Kurt Edwards. I'm Tim Swartz. We mentioned it before, mention it again. The last time we were right here, the same exact spot for St. Francis. They won an SCCAL championship. They lost a few players. They lost their head coach. And coming into this season, they seem like they have to prove themselves again.
Every year out of the blocks, they always have to prove themselves. Now, the Mariners recently, they went up the valley to San Lorenzo Valley, and you can see that they came out with a nice victory up at SLV. The Sharks, they lost to Scotts Valley. You can see that game 72-51. The Sharks have been battling a little bit. They've lost their last two games. The Mariners, they're 1-1 coming into this one. But these two teams match up very well against each other.
Yeah, for these teams, you look at where they are in the SCCAL standings, just like the boys game. Just one game separates between these two teams, and it's really a fight to see who's in that top echelon with Scotts Valley, Santa Cruz, and SoCal.
Yeah, the way they're sitting up right now, you're 1, 2, 3, and the horse race is going to be for 4 in all of this race. Scotts Valley off to a great start. They've got a tremendous one, and of course the power polls you see right there. SoCal, Santa Cruz, Scotts Valley, St. Francis, Pacific Collegiate, who's not in the SCCAL, and then there's Aptos,
so according to the Santa Cruz Sentinel power poll, St. Francis a little bit of a favorite coming into this one.
Yeah, they did a really nice job in their off season. There are only 3 games in the league, and that's why you're either going to be 2-1, 3, whatever. But you watch these two teams play, and just from last year, a lot of experience. Both of these coaches do a great job. Mark Clark doing a good job. Cade Bell doing a fantastic job for the Aptos Mariners. As far as St. Francis' case, Mark Bell, we talked to him and says, okay, what are you going to be trying to do? What are you trying to overcome as you go up against the Aptos Mariners? But the keys coming up, defensive strength, contain Wilson. She's tough, moving on the ball. Now let's find out what the coach has got to say and what his challenges are going to be in the game.
Well, I've got a game tonight and a game on Wednesday and Aptos on Friday, so I haven't really gotten a specific formulation for Aptos, but most of what we're doing for the whole week is defense, working on defense. So we want to strengthen our defensive position. We've done pretty good on offense, so that's where I'm putting most of my efforts.
And that's Coach Mark Clark, who replaced Jennifer Watson, who won a championship last season, but she's also the athletics director not more than 24 hours in a day, so she's got to focus on that. Now here's the Aptos side of the ball.
Cade Bell, first-year coach for the Aptos Mariners, defend the three-point shot, keep 15 Price from getting to the line, execute, move the ball all the way around. He likes to see a nice, hearty pace. And again, we talked to Cade Bell a little bit before the game and says, what are you looking to, what are your keys, what are your goals, what are you going to try and stop against the Sharks?
Well, they have a couple of very good players. Anna Lasage, great three-point shooter. You leave her alone, that's going to be tough for us. Cover her out on the perimeter. She'll drain it every time. She's a good player. They have their guards are a little taller in mine, so we have a little challenge there as far as defending. But I think it should be a good game. We're pretty comparable. Should be a good matchup. Should be a very good game.
Yeah, we're expecting a very close one coming up. Aptos and St. Francis. The game of the week finishes up with a girls matchup coming up next on CTV Sports. Back here at Aptos High School, game 2 of our doubleheader. The Aptos Mariners hosting the St. Francis Sharks in girls basketball. So the starting lineups about ready to be announced with Kurt Edwards. I'm Tim Swartz, and for both these teams, a big game as they fight to get to the top half of the SCCAL. We'll start out with Mark Clark and his starting 5 for the Sharks.
And you can see Anna Laish, which was last year. She was great last year. Martinez, Connors, Shoemake, and Price. There's your top 5 for the Sharks. Some returners. And there's a big squad. For the Aptos Mariners, Cade Bell in his first year for the Aptos Mariners. They come in 5-8, 2-1 in league. Rojas, Composti, Bruce, Wilson, and Ramos. Composti, point guard, she moves the ball down the floor very, very well. And that's one of the people that the Sharks are going to have to contain.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how exactly the Sharks deal. You see another first-year head coach, Cade Bell.
Now, Cade, Eric Peterson, and Marcus Watson will be the men in the striped shirts and the black pants, making sure everybody plays this game fairly, honestly. And remember, basketball's a no-contact sport. Didn't you read it in the rules way back when with the peach basket? Craig Justin used to climb up the basket to get the ball out so we could continue to play.
Hey, you say Craig Judson, I will not say that because he controls our microphones back in the truck.
It'll be the last time you hear my voice.
So we're ready to start this one. For the first half of SCCAL play, they'll have the girls play second, and the second half, they'll have the boys play second. Something a little bit different, but I like it a lot. And it'll be Campasti, who is the point guard, who will take it over. Ball's worked around the arc. Wilson, Campasti, wild left hand, baby hook shot's no good. And St. Francis, unfortunately, oh no, Deidre Wilson looked like she landed on her knee awkwardly.
He's down on that one at a quick timeout. And she is definitely down. And Wilson, one of the better players for the Aptos Mariners.
So
Cade out there with the athletic trainer, and they'll assess the situation, and hopefully it's just a little bit of a bone bruise and not something worse than that.
So it's 0-0 with 18 seconds into this game between Aptos and St. Francis.
Wilson's one of the bigs in the center of that Aptos offense that likes to try and continue to get to the boards and control the middle, which is one of the things that they're going to have to really do against the St. Francis Sharks that bring just a little bit bigger lineup. There in the crowd, Bob Bivens down to the right, sort of the maroon shirt on as he gets passed over. Former Watsonville High School baseball coach, teacher, long time in the area. His granddaughter's playing. Kendra Bivens is playing for the Aptos Mariners. And hopefully we're going to be able to get her up, but there's a lot of pain on the floor.
So yeah, just 18 seconds in, and just look at the rebound, and it was, I think it's a bad landing.
In the center, she gets right up in there, and then there's just a pile right on inside. So it's not so much of a collision when she hit the floor, but a definite tweak, as there was a lot of bodies going for it. So we're hoping it's as minor as it could possibly be, and nothing like a posterior anterior cruciate, which is a very, very debilitating injury for the young athletes.
So we wish the best to Wilson.
So we'll get to mark this thing back over again with just 18 seconds off the clock. But this is a loss that the Cade Bell and the rest of the Aptos Mariners are going to have to fight through, and one that they really don't want to have happen to them.
Yeah, so just 18 seconds into this game, and Deidre Wilson went down for the Mariners. Tallest player in the starting lineup. Kariana Crowder will come into the game for the Mariners. And here we go. Kind of a second start to this game, unfortunately. Back under action with the St. Francis Sharks trying to break down a 2-3 zone. Left wing, long three. It's too long for Amber Martinez, but the second effort is poured in by Lasich.
The Lady Sharks jump on top quick. Composti doing a good job of coming up the floor. Let's see how the Mariners can react to this when they lose their #1 center. And they're going to have to continue to just make that ball move as quickly as they can, get nice percentage shots.
Just a little bit long from the right side. And the rebound's picked up by Lauren Price. It was a double overtime win over SoCal, a buzzer beater for St. Francis last year here on this floor for the SCCAL championship. And Price, who was a sophomore last season, didn't play much in the first half, but in overtime, she was maybe the best player for the Sharks.
She took over the game, you're right, in OT last year.
Long rebound to Sienna Norton. That's got to be hard for Aptos to keep focus with one of their teammates down with a apparent left knee injury.
They're going to do it. If I know Coach Bell, he's going to work on the mentality of a high rainbow archer.
Bruce's shot's no good, and the rebound is out of play to St. Francis.
Norton going to defend the ball coming in play.
2-point lead for St. Francis, just 2 minutes into this game.
Watch Martinez. She's just going to survey the floor. Good point guard, moves the ball around, goes inside. 2 cutters going right on through, nothing there. Good defense by the Aptos Mariners.
8 on the shot clock, off balance, short for Lasich. And the rebound to a very good Aptos team. We mentioned they're 2-1 in the league. Scotts Valley defeated St. Francis the last time the Sharks hit the floor, 72-51.
Ball out on top, back over here to Bruce on the inside. Tried to get it in a little bit too high of a toss.
Price collects the rebounds. I should say collects a steal. And out of play off the hands, looked like a Shumaki underneath. Sonia Shumaki is a 5'9" freshman guard.
Good sized guard for high school ball.
Yeah, especially for a freshman. You expect she'll grow a little bit more.
Her brother played on the football team, one of the big horses, big hogs, up on the offensive line for St. Francis.
Ball's bounced down loud, and a perfect full court press break. Vanessa Ramos lays it in.
That's good ball movement, moving the ball up the floor very quickly, but the Mariners are going to have to close off those lanes as the Sharks are going to take advantage every time they get the opportunity. Shimaki taking that ball right down the pipe. Watch it, there's the opportunity to go down. She's fouled by Ramos.
2 shots. The first one is good. The power poll, St. Francis comes in at number 4, and Aptos number 6 in the Santa Cruz Sentinel poll. So this is a kind of a, I think that just like the boys game, the same kind of storyline in terms of who's the number 4 team in the league.
Watch Aptos. Movement without the ball is key. Martinez back out on top. Composti says, I'm going to take that shot.
Rebound's no good. And all the way down the hoop. Nice pass, but a little bit too high for Lasich from Martinez.
Great hustle by the Aptos Mariners defense, getting back down the floor as quick as they could. Crowder, number 2, doing a good job of clogging up the middle.
Norton inbounds it. Composti, nice pass up ahead. Giving up her dribble in, traveling was Ramos.
That pass was a good lead, but you've got to make sure that you put that ball on the deck. And that's actually one of those plays, Tim, where if you catch the ball underneath, there's nothing you can do. Put the ball on the floor, go out the other side, reset up your offense.
Composti, I think we can already say 3.5 minutes in, and she goes down a little bit out of control. But I think she's the quickest player on the floor.
Hands down. She came around the corner by us, and she was a blur. And by the way, she's not afraid to shoot it either.
She just had 2 shots in that possession. 2 good looks, just couldn't get them to roll in.
Quickly on defense.
Lasich. Open 3 for Lasich. No good. Norton tipped it to herself. Lasich underneath. It was knocked out of play by Composti, who I think early on we can already tell she's gonna pose some problems for St. Francis defensively, just trying to know where she is.
Definitely, and one of the things Coach Bell has said that Aptos is just a little bit smaller on the guard position, but I think the Mariners are a little bit quicker than the Sharks are at the guard position.
Maria Rojas is the first off the bench. She takes the ball to the near wing, just left of our broadcast position. Along with Kurt Edwards, I'm Tim Swartz. We'll have all the SCCAL action for you all season long. Short for Bruce on the 3. And Shimaki ends up with the rebound. Nobody stops the ball. Coming down the lane was Price. She gave up her dribble.
Well, 2 traveling calls. You get down inside. You can, defensively, if you can just pin that ball up against somebody, you don't get that easy traveling call against them. Mariners easily bring the ball up across past half court.
Left wing, Camposti's 3 is no good.
I'm telling you, she'll put up 20 shots easy.
Left side, short jumper off the right iron and no good for Price.
A little over 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and 4-2. So neither one of these offenses is able to get on track as both teams are playing very good defense, forcing the ball away from the basket.
Camposti for Rojas. A normal starter, didn't get to start today. Camposti from way downtown. That one almost was good. It just tips off the rim. And Shimaki tried to trip it herself. It's not going to happen with Camposti there.
And the Mariners are going to call timeout. Cade Bell says, I've seen enough, and what I'm seeing, I don't necessarily like.
At 4-2 is the score with 2:46 remaining in the first quarter. And let's go listen in to Coach Bell.
I need your attention here, Josie. I'm calling timeout for here. They're 1-2-2. Okay? Carnetta, come up here and play back here. You guys run Dallas or Austin. You can look for that girl cutting. Cut higher, cut the too low. You can look and get right to here. That makes sense? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're in 13, go here, seal right down in. Denise is finding you guys breaking down the court. When you guys get down on that court, look for it right away. Set them inside. See if you can do it. Josie, when that last shot, Cardano was open here. Okay?
So that was a listen in to Cade Bell, who's the head coach for the Aptos Mariners in his first season. We mentioned Jennifer Watson, who was the head coach for St. Francis, won that SCCAL championship. No longer the coach because she was a teacher, she was an athletics director, and we said there's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah, and you might want to add in, she's a mom.
That's a full-time job on its own. All the way down the court. This one's off of Shimaki out of bounds. Both these teams a little bit sloppy early on. Anything that you notice in terms of what these teams need to do to slow down?
Just that, slow down. Just start to run your patterns a little bit more. If the shot's not there the first time, rerun the routes.
Good job in the 1-2-2 zone. An aggressive play by Price to knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, in the girls division, it's a 30-second shot clock. The boys are a 35. But allow that thing to get down inside, 15 seconds before you get a shot off, but be able to get the ball back out. Don't wait for the defense to collapse on top of you.
Norton, nice pass off to the left wing for Megan Maxwell. Camposti, short corner. Norton with contacts, no good from 18, but it's rolled in by Crowder. And we're tied at 4 with 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Crowder doing a good job at just staying in the center.
Good job by Lasich to take it, and she's fouled.
The other thing that I would do is I'd try and spread it out, because the Mariners really aren't moving that much offensively. They're not rotating from side to side. They're not using any kind of picks, any kind of give and goes. They're just playing one-on-one basketball, and their passes have got to be a lot crisper. Lasich did a nice job. She found a crease that she was able to get through and then take advantage of it.
She makes the front end of her 2 free throws. And her second. Very nice free throws. She's got 4 in this game.
And I liked her last year when she took over in overtime, that fourth quarter in overtime, and she's improved going into this season.
Camposti, right side for Maxwell. Got to move the ball around quickly to beat a zone.
Yep.
Maxwell, 18-footer, in and out.
The other thing you have to do, Tim, is you have to look for your shot. In the side, Martinez comes out of there alive.
Nice pass underneath, and a left-hand lane, too strong for Price. Jump ball calls going to the Mariners, or excuse me, staying with St. Francis.
Staying with St. Francis. And that's one of the things, especially at this level, high school level and below, learn how to use the backboard when you're underneath on a layup.
Nice play off the inbound pass, and Lauren Price puts it in, just like that. Wow, Coach Edwards drawing it up.
Well, it's been put up there for a good reason, and a lot of times these kids just don't always use it. And it's not only not used here at the high school level, but also at the collegiate and the pros. Pros, they can elevate and slam the thing home. High school, no. Take advantage of a little bit of a bank shot.
Martinez slowly up the court. Just above a minute remaining in the first quarter. Pull up, nice looking jumper, short for Lasix. Composti all the way down, and that one will roll in.
I like that extra little giddy up, extra little gallop that Composti has. Timeout called by Coach Clark over for the Sharks. Watch that. If we got a replay of her acceleration, here she comes. Little bit, little hitch, little giddy up, finds the crease, throws it up. Half desperation, half I planned it that way.
Mark Clark, I think his message very simple: stop balls. We see trivia question. We just saw in their first game, Will Chamberlain scored 73 points against the Chicago Packers. They became the first modern franchise to be an expansion team. In 1962, became the Chicago Zephyrs, and are still playing today. What NBA team are they?
Well, let's see, they could be the Bulls. They're still in Chicago, but I don't think so.
That's not the right answer.
I know, it's because I gave it.
You said it, I didn't have to say it. That one is thrown off into the first row, out of control from Shumaki, who we've seen her make some nice plays, and we got to keep in mind, she's a freshman. Sometimes a little bit overzealous.
Well, the game has to come to you. And a lot of times, this game can go awfully quick with a lot of movement. You've got to be able to play it at your own pace and be just in control and in rhythm.
Norton's shot is no good. Rebound, pinballs around, ends up with Josie Bruce, who ties this one at 8. Shot clock dead, and the ball just thrown away by St. Francis.
Great opportunity now for the Aptos Mariners. They've got 23 seconds to go. They're going to take it out underneath their own end. So they've got to be able to move the ball up the floor as quick as they can. And for the first time, Composti's moving slow.
You just saw Coach Bell's face. That's the face of a coach that knows we have one shot left in the quarter and we just gave it away.
Uh-huh. Now they're going to have to get it in with 7 on the shot clock. They give it to the shooter.
No good. Long rebound, and Norton. Camposti does not take the shot. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 8-8 is our score after the first 8 minutes of play. And Kurt, any thoughts from the first quarter?
Well, it was a wild one. The shooting percentage for both of the ball clubs has to obviously improve, but definitely it's the defense. They're doing a good job all the way around on just denying anybody an opportunity to get a good shot in.
So I want to thank some of the people that have made this possible. First of all, Santa Cruz Diner. It's open 24 hours. You can go there anytime. And at Santa Cruz Diner, you always find great food at a reasonable price. Family owned and operated since 1988. Santa Cruz Diner, kid friendly. They offer a wide selection of traditional and vegan items. Great staff and a comfortable atmosphere will make you feel right at home. Featured on the Food Channel, easy to find on Ocean Street in Santa Cruz. On the web at santacruzdiner.com. Great food, priced right at the Santa Cruz Diner. And Watsonville Tire and Lube. Happy holidays from the Watsonville Tire and Lube, where you'll find reliable customer service at respectable prices at Watsonville at 127 Lee Road, just north of Beach Street, offering discount tire sales and repair for semi-truck, auto, SUV, and tractor tires. Great savings on all major brands and satisfied customers. That's our goal at Watsonville Tire and Lube. If it's got wheels, Watsonville Tire has you covered. St. Francis making the drive up from Watsonville for this contest. The southmost team in the SCCAL.
You get any farther south, you're going to be in Monterey County.
And you go to the MBL.
Now let's see if this second set of 8 minutes is going to prove a little bit smoother basketball than the first set of 8 minutes.
Camposti up top asking for it. Instead, it'll go Norton to the short corner. Stolen away by Shumaki.
Well, one thing watching Aptos on that one, you can't let the basketball come to you. You also have to help it out. We got a little wrestling contest in there. The officials let it play out. You've got to go and help the person with the basketball out. You've got to be moving, give them a nice passing lane so they can go in and make a nice easy pass to you.
Camposti just keeps it in from being an over and back ball. Ball's off to the left side for Crowder. Just joining us, Wilson, one of the best players for Aptos, hurt her left knee early, so early, was 18 seconds in, and she has not been coming back into this game. All the way to the hoop with the foul, laid up and in for Lauren Price.
There's your difference. Scotts Valley. St. Francis moves quickly back on the offensive set. You can see Aptos Mariners trailing back through there. They're not in a good position defensively, whether it was man or zone defense. Quickly depth the floor goes the ball, get the ball to Price. She's got the easy layup, and now hopefully get the three the hard way.
Lefty can't put it in. But the offensive rebound and the putback is good for Lasich. She's got 6, which leads all scorers. Nice game for her thus far.
She has just been consistent. And that's the one thing I like about Lasich. She is always consistent.
Norton off balance. It's no good. Rebound picked up by Shumaki. They don't play many players, St. Francis. All the way down to the hoop. It's hard blocked by Shoemaker.
Now again, you can see the ball coming right down the middle. Aptos leaving that lane open, leaving the key open for the drivers. And it's almost killed them. It's hurt them a couple of times.
Price can't quite get it over the rim. High arcer is no good. Rebound tipped around as Hamill just came into the game and had her attempt knocked out of play. And Aptos will retake possession. 6:19 remaining. Aptos trails by 4 here at home.
Off of Price's foot. Hey, real quick, when we talked about Wilt Chamberlain before, he has a picture here of a historical monument that has his nickname on it.
What would that be?
Giant Dipper. Wilt had a couple of different nicknames. Wilt-the-Stilt was one of them, and the Giant Dipper happened to be another one of them. So way back in his playing days, he got a picture of him riding the Giant Dipper. I'd hate to be him going underneath some of those buttons.
Crowder lays it up and in. It's cut to a 2-point lead for the Sharks. Right wing, 3 on the way. Front iron, no good for Hamill. Offensive rebound for a moment. Camposti dives, kept it in, but she knocked it out of play, and the Sharks will retake it.
Our 2 officials are letting them play, and the play is very rough inside the key. They go for the rebounds. But I will say this, the officials are keeping a nice eye on what's happening in the floor. Bivens now checks into the game number 20 for the Aptos Mariners.
Just beating a 5-second call, and Shoemake had it up top. Her teammate, Hashimoto, almost ran over her. Hashimoto down low for Sarah Rodriguez, and it ends up off her foot out of bounds.
And Ron Saran over there did a little extra time. Got his foot for some camera time. One of the many very talented camera operators we have here today.
Ball ends up going all the way down, and it'll be Aptos ball.
Yep. Well, if you're going to turn it over, make sure you do it at the other end of the floor so the other team has to go over about 94 feet to get it.
So Aptos turns it over.
Here comes Shoemake.
Shoemake, freshman. Nice spin move, dishes. Oh, she brought in the defense, at least.
Well, that's what you want to do. Bring the defense in, and if you've got any kind of moving around out there, you kick the ball back on out. Hashimoto going to go to the charity stripe to shoot a couple. But if you can go inside, and then that's where your offensive rotation comes in, Tim. You get somebody to come out, you kick the ball back out, and they may have a wide open 10, 15-foot shot.
First free throw no good for Hashimoto. And the second. good. 3-point lead for St. Francis. I'd say about 95% of this game has been a one-possession game. Been very tight. And it's stolen away. Lasic takes it all the way down and will lay it up and good. 8 points for Anna Lasic with a 15 for the Sharks.
And those cross-court passes are tough. If you see a cross-court pass, you're going to probably have to fight your way back to it, just like a receiver would in baseball. Throw a pass underneath the Bibbins.
Hashimoto with the steal. Lasic up the court. All the way to the left side. It's laid up and good by Shoemake. Timeout Aptos. They cannot beat this press. 17-10 lead for St. Francis.
And I'll tell you one thing, that's one thing that the Knights or the Sharks have figured it out. Nice little bounce pass underneath. Shoemake using the glass, bounces it right on in. And that's run the floor, continue to use the floor. And Aptos, you're right, they're having a very tough time getting the ball across. They're a little bit late in picking up where everything is, and there's just not enough rotation as far as the rotation is concerned.
And you don't really see too often teams come out with full court pressure in women's basketball because there's no 10-second call. So you're very rare to see that.
No, it's very true, but you're still going to apply the pressure. You've got the 30-second shot clock, so if you can delay them back there and cause them to have a different one, you know, just trying to fight your way up the way through. You can spend 15 seconds down there fighting to get it all the way across. That doesn't allow you much time to run your offense on the other end.
17-10, the lead for St. Francis here on the road. You see the fan clubs. I think I saw a Camposti sign. There it is, the pink one. So her fan club is out full effect tonight. Camposti breaks the press underneath. Nice pass for Norton. Got a little bit of trouble collecting the pass. Maxwell, right side, all the way to the hoop off the front side of the iron. And this one is out of play. Still 17-10 with 4:25 to go.
Well, the whole routine right now is Aptos cannot get in that paint, and that defense is just fantastic.
Norton dumps it down. The ball was deflected by the quick hands of Rodriguez. She gets it back to Rojas. Rojas near corner, pump fake, floater is too long. And I think thus far, Lasic, who collected the rebound, has been by far the best player on the court. She has 8 points. Nobody else has more than 4. And Posty all the way down, and she'll miss the lay-in. Lasic, let her go. Good idea. And Hashimoto, as she collected that ball, travels.
She got that pass, and she was ready to dribble and saw one of her teammates on the other side breaking free. Then she shifted from the idea of taking up the dribble to passing the ball and ended up traveling.
Aptos looking to break this full court pressure. And they will. Camposti all the way down the hoop. And a missed layup for Ramos.
Just not getting, they're not using their legs, Tim, to get that ball up and in.
Lasic, a great pass down to Shoemake. And another timeout called for by Coach Bell, who does not look to be too pleased. His team's down by 9. And one of the players they are missing is their senior, Deidre Wilson, who went down with a left leg injury.
They are definitely missing her, that's for sure. But they're also, the transition game is just much more in favor right now of the Lady Sharks. They're able to get the ball down the floor. They're just a step and a half quicker as far as the Mariners are concerned. Let's take a listen over in the Shark Town.
You're just showing presence so they won't throw to that. Like the last one, when you find them, you're absolutely sleeping. Always looking for down. You can't right side going up. All that activity to go to the left side. You understand? You guys are keeping your head down, keep it up, and look to your very first side. That little got it. We're not going to.
So we'll take a look at what just happened. It was a great pass from Lasic.
That long pass down the floor, And you can see why the Sharks are just running the floor better. Their transition game, they're a step and a half faster in reacting than the Aptos Mariners. Mariners are late getting back on defense. They're even late getting back on offense.
Camposti trying to inbound it. She can run the sideline. She'll throw one up, and it was collected, but traveling is collecting that one. Was Ramos, switched her pivot foot.
Yeah, once you've established what your pivot foot is, you're right. You can't switch that one, and the official was right on top of it. Another turnover by the Aptos Mariners, and Martinez will go over and, or Ramos, excuse me, will go over and have a seat.
Hashimoto just left of the circle.
There's a shot if you want it.
Lasich.
She'll take it if given it. I guarantee that.
Shoemake dumps it down the lane for Connors. Near side, Hashimoto, no good. But the rebound is picked up. Too hard from Shoemake. And Camposti wants to push it as always. Norton will take it to the hoop. No good. 9-point lead still for the Sharks. Under 3 minutes remaining. Too long, the pass from Shoemake. And another turnover.
Good hustle by Camposti. She ran under and right by Marissa Connors, cutting her off on the pass of the ball and letting it get out of bounds. So now the Aptos Mariners are going to take it out. But full court press going to be applied by St. Francis.
Maxwell crosses half court. Norton asked for it underneath, and great defense from Shoemake on the help side just to get a hand on that.
That's one of those dangerous passes. If you're going to throw that pass, you're going to have to throw a dart. Really put some mustard on that thing to get it across.
And maybe a little bit lower, too.
Yeah.
Backdoor cut, Shoemake's there again. This is a fantastic freshman who...
I like watching her play.
Left side, fouled from behind is Price, and she lays it in. It's been the Price and Lasich show. They've got the 14 of the 21 and throwing the 6 from Shoemake. That's 20 of the 21 between 3 players for the Sharks.
Well, they come down the floor, and Price already establishes her presence right down in the paint. Again, the Mariners were not back defensively to shut the path of the ball off, stop the ball above the top of the key. If they can start doing that, they'll start slowing down the Sharks. Price making that free throw, but that's not what the Mariners are doing. They're letting it get past the free throw line.
12-point lead. We did not expect the game to be this one-sided to either side. We thought it was going to be real close.
I did too. The pass went inside to Norton, and Norton's going to have to start looking for some more shots. She moves very well without the ball, but she's had some golden opportunities to shoot the ball, and she hasn't done it yet. This one, on the other hand.
Camposti, well, maybe her 10th attempt of the first half, and she's fouled 2 free throws.
Camisa is just, well, she's a driver. You give her an opportunity on the lane, and she's going to take it. She realizes, and I don't know when she realized it, very early in the game, that if she can start drawing people to her and start making some of these baskets, she drops that free throw in, that she can be able to kick the ball back outside.
You can't miss her on the floor because she has the pink and purple shoes. Second free throw is no good.
She's also a blur when she's running.
And too strong on the second effort from Price. Ball is underneath the hoop. And finally released. Camposti up to Norton, who took too many steps.
Got to put the ball on the floor. Good defense that time. I believe it was Amber Martinez who defensively just got right in front of Norton just as she was about ready to do something and caused the travel.
As a coach that used to teach, as Lasich lays it up and good, it's a 13-point lead. Lasich is in double 50 to 10, but when you used to coach, did you teach when in doubt, dribble the ball?
Always. I also taught never stop your dribble. Because once you do that, when you're subject to the double team and your opponent can come off of you, back off. Nice job inside.
Perfect example there from Bruce is when she took it to the hole, she just went up with it, didn't do anything else. Lasich tries one from 3-point range, no good. kicked out of bounds. Shoemake has to be one of the most aggressive freshmen that you've ever seen, I've ever seen. Just into the game is Izzy Shamirza, but Shoemake, another freshman, by the way, but Shoemake is there every single time there's a loose ball.
Well, she's there every time there's a loose ball, and she does a good job of anticipating where the ball is going to be. She fights for position to get inside or between the basket and whoever happens to be guarding her.
Looks like a 1-3-1 zone, and fouled as she was going up as Bruce. So Shamirza is a 6'1 freshman from Holy Cross, replaces Shoemake, the 5'9 freshman from Holy Cross. Shamirza was playing the top of the 1-3-1, and she's listed as a guard at 6'1", and she looks like one.
She's quick. Just watching Shamirza move, she's got good athleticism about her. There's Cade Bell drawing it up. Camposti over there on the far side. Yeah. Bruce staying on her tippy toes to make sure that thing gets on in.
Lasich crosses half court. St. Francis can play 2 for 1 with 53 seconds. Nice pass on the back door, but it's rejected. Crowder in the middle. Camposti over to the right wing.
Aptos has a good, what Aptos could have done is try to get that shot off as quickly as it could, but now they're just going to have to try and get their best shot with 12 on the shot clock, and the Sharks are going to have a great opportunity to just work for one and final shot.
They'll have one final shot, 25 seconds remaining in the first half. 9-point lead for the Sharks. And there's that freshman. Shamirza is too strong. And the rebound to Camposti. Nice dish to Norton underneath, but Norton fell down. She's got a big smile on her face.
She's got a big smile on her face, but she's got to be able to take that shot. Camposti did a nice job driving down. The defense went to her. That pass went to Norton. She's got to be just a little bit quicker and put that shot up. She may end up getting fouled and going to the free throw line, and we got a blocking foul.
That's the 16th foul against Aptos, not the 7th, which is significant because that would have meant free throws for Amber Martinez.
That was Bruce who got charged with the blocking foul. So let's see who gets to take that wild shot.
Lasich all the way to the hoop, lays it up, no good. And that'll do it for the first half of play. St. Francis put the clamps down on Aptos. They lead 24-15 after one half of play in our SCCAL Girls Varsity Basketball Game of the Week. St. Francis, the Sharks lead 24-15 here in our Girls Game of the Week on CTV Sports. With Kurt Edwards, I'm Tim Swartz, and Kurt, in this first half, great defense from the St. Francis Sharks.
They did that, a tremendous amount of defense. Real quick underneath, Aptos starts out with Ramos getting that easy bucket, and we thought, this team's going to be going really quick in the Aptos favor. But no, my friend, Price finds a way to get underneath and get an easy basket. Camposti, who's just been a flash all the way, jumps right down the middle of the lane, throws in one of her few buckets on the day, gets it inside this time. Nice little work all the way around. So Norton gets a nice easy jumper, and then the battle goes off underneath. And look at Bruce, finds the garbage and puts it right back in.
Yeah, but I really think the story of this first half was the player you see, Anna Lasich. She had 10 points, 10 of the 24 for the St. Francis Sharks. They got 24 of their 25 from Price and Shoemake as well. Here's 2 from the freshman Sonia Shoemake. And the score at the half, 24-15. Aptos is trailing here at home.
They are that one. And watch Bruce. This is what is going to have to make Aptos work at it more, and that's going baseline. They're just not moving the ball around, Tim. It's one pass, stand around, and then force up a tough shot.
Yeah, Bruce is the leading scorer for the Aptos Mariners. She has 6 points as we head into the second half. What does Aptos need to do to get anything going offensively? 8-point first quarter, 7-point second quarter.
Well, their shooting percentage is going to have to be a lot better. And, some of the shots that they're taking right now are pretty wild as far as the shots are concerned. But more than anything else, they're just going to have to spread out a little bit more, pass and move, pass and move.
So we want to thank some of the people that have helped make this CTV Sports presentation possible. Santa Cruz Diner, open 24 hours. At Santa Cruz Diner, you'll find always Great food at a reasonable price. Family owned and operated since 1998. Santa Cruz Diner is kid-friendly and offers a wide selection of traditional and vegan items. Their great staff and comfortable atmosphere will make you feel right at home. Featured on the Food Channel, easy to find on Ocean Street, right off of Highway 17 in Santa Cruz. On the web at santacruzdiner.com. Great food, priced right at the Santa Cruz Diner. And by Watsonville Tire. Happy holidays from the Watsonville Tire and Lube Crew, where you'll find reliable customer service at respectable prices. In Watsonville at 127 Lee Road, just north of Beach Street, offering discount tire sales and repair for semi-truck, auto, SUV, and tractor tires. Great savings on all major brands and satisfied customers. That's our goal at Watsonville Tire and Lube. If it's got wheels, Watsonville Tire has you covered.
Yeah, we're looking over at Cade Bell, the head man, first-year coach for the Aptos Mariners. His main goal right now is to rally his troops and start to get them to play a solid bit of offense and solid bit of defense. But losing Wilson, their senior center/forward, that's going to be a tough one to overcome. His bigs are going to have to step up just a little bit more. Right now, they are being out-quicked by the Lady Sharks.
We thought coming into this game, talking to both head coaches, quickness would be the advantage to Aptos.
I would have thought so too, especially with old number 12 sitting out there, Camposti. She is just the epitome of quick. She's going to get the ball inbounds. We're ready to go for quarter number 3.
Bruce, Camposti, Norton, Crowder, and Ramos are the 5 for Coach Bell to start out the second half. The original 5 of Connors, Lasich, Price, Shoemake, and Martinez for the Sharks. And Lasich, watch out for Camposti. She pulls up. Good idea from 12. It's no good. Rebound is collected, and resetting the offense are the Sharks.
And that's nice discipline all the way around. Set your offense up and then play ball. Camposti going for it. Big collision up inside. And there's going to be a foul against the Sharks.
It's against
Connors.
Marissa Connors. Full court man-to-man. Camposti just throws that one wildly. Price will steal it away, leaves it off for Lasich. Extra pass to Shoemate, and it's too strong.
Watch Martinez comes back, sets up defensively, and that forces Camposti to take a wild running shot, but she made it.
Good defense, good offense. Camposti with 5.
And quickly back down the court come the Sharks. Get them in their offense. A lot of movement. Connors holding the ball on the far side. Oops.
Errant pass. And the turnover goes to the Aptos Mariners.
These are some of the breaks that the Mariners are going to need, Tim, to try and get back in the game. There's Coach Clark over on the far side.
Camposti. Norton turnaround. No good. And a nice rebound for Connors.
We didn't see Norton do that very much in the first 2 quarters of play.
Shoemake, open 3, Rainmaker. First basket of the second half for the Sharks. They've got a 10-point lead.
Shoemake doing great defense on Bruce. She pulls that dribble up. Now she's going to have somebody come for help. And again, no 10 seconds in the women's division.
Camposti has her pass intended for Crowder, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Aptos on their offensive side. Substitution. We saw a lot of her in the first half, and we'll see her early on. Sarah Rodriguez, a 5'11 senior.
On that one, you give Shoemake a lot of credit. She was hustling all the way back down defensively, tipped the ball out of play. Otherwise, Aptos may have had an easy bucket.
Camposti bounced it down low, and she traveled. Ramos had sealed off the defender, but she took an extra step.
She did a great job. Textbook job by Ramos to get good position and seal that defender off. But you're right, that little traveling. A good anticipation that time by the Aptos Mariners as Norton swats the ball out of play. And this is some of the things that the Mariners need to do. They have to play a little bit more aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. Force the Sharks to pull that dribble up before they get inside that 3-point arc.
St. Francis will work it around the arc. Lasich at the left elbow. Drives, and Camposti able to get a hand on it. Just 8 on the shot clock. Fouled was Martinez as she went up.
That time we watched Martinez come around the corner when she got right at the free throw line, right at the middle. Watch this, she sees that opening, boom, she comes right through it. Norton was right there to possibly seal her off, but she broke away to go cover her individual. Stopped the person with the ball first.
Free throw is good for Martinez. She's become just the 4th St. Francis Shark to score. There's only been 3 players who've had field goals. There's Lasich, Price, and Shoemake.
So what would you do? A zone, a box and one, try and isolate one of them, just put a man up on, say, Lasich or Price?
How about a triangle and 2?
Triangle and 2 would be great also. Force the individuals to work a little bit harder, or force it into the hands of those who haven't scored yet.
Ball's knocked away, and Lasich will get credit for a steal.
Quickly down the floor they come. Watch how fast they have set up offensively. There's movement down the middle. That's one of the things that Aptos started to do a little bit more in the second half. Composti going against the odds.
No good. Lasich takes the rebound. Long, brilliant pass. Shoemake, the extra pass, couldn't lay it up in. That's where the freshman, I think, is going to learn to use a left hand there.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I know both these coaches during practice, they work on. Dominant hand, that's easy. The non-dominant, that's a little bit tougher to get.
Rojas lost that ball for a moment. Martinez all over her. And she'll fire this one out of play. It goes to the St. Francis Sharks.
You see how far up Aptos picked up the dribble. It was right about midcourt. And that's just great. If I'm the defender and I can get you to pick that ball up right around midcourt, I've not taken advantage. I'll come up and press you to get you out of that jam. Your teammates are going to have to come up and help you. That pulls the offense away from the basket. That pulls the defense out. And it makes life really complicated for the offensive group.
So he gave you this trivia question. 1961, the Chicago Packers became the first modern expansion team in the NBA. 1962, they had a new name. What's their name now? Where are they?
Well, Michael Jordan owns the team, or at least I thought he used to be part of that team.
No, incorrect. They became the Baltimore Bullets, which became the Washington Bullets, and now they are the Washington Wizards.
Didn't Jordan play a little bit for the Wizards?
He played 2 seasons, I believe.
Okay. So you could actually say that Jordan was a Packer.
You could. Underneath, it's no good. And falling down was Rodriguez, and she gets back up. Nice to see that, but yeah, the Wizards having a tough season so far. Long pass down, and it ends up with Norton. 4:20 remaining in the third. 28-17 lead for St. Francis.
St. Francis in a man-to-man, really forcing the Mariners away from the basket. And with not a lot of movement, they end up tossing the ball away.
And shot up, no good, but a foul called. Lasich will get to the line for 2.
Lasich going to the line. St. Francis, their last game was, well, they've been coming in. They've got a win against San Lorenzo Valley, and then losses against SoCal and Scotts Valley. Lasich drops that one home. They play pretty darn good basketball. It's always interesting to see how teams start the league based on what their preseason is, and then when we see them all again towards the end of the season and during the tournament, what they've managed to metamorphosize into.
So 30-17 with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Norton up the left side, over the left wing for Composti. She takes it in the lane, and a running floater is good. A circus shot for Camissa.
Well, Camissa's probably one of the most aggressive players on the Aptos Mariners. Battle underneath, Bivens goes for it, can't get it.
Ball is just laid with the round. Finally, it will be poured in by the lefty Price. Her first basket of the second half.
And an immediate throwaway down. Rice comes back again. So the Mariners just have to really regroup. How much the loss of Wilson is affecting their play out on the floor right now, I don't know, but I do know that the tenacious defense for the Lady Sharks is definitely affecting the Aptos Mariners.
2 free throws for Price, and she'll roll the first one in. She's in a double figures. The second player in this game in a double figures. 7 for Composti leads Aptos. 12 for Lace. You see Wilson. Hopefully we wish her the best in her future. And the second free throw is also good. Biggest lead of the game, 15 points.
Now Camposti takes the ball out underneath, arguably the best ball handler that the Mariners have, and you see that she's got some smarts too. She's able to run that baseline, just comes blowing up the sidelines.
Nice pass to the right side, and fouled as she went up with Bruce.
You can see the explosiveness that the Mariners can have when Composti's got the ball. I just think she's faster than anybody else on the floor, and she leaves her teammates in her wake.
She's given Bruce a couple of good looks, who had 6 in the first half. She's had 2 free throws. She makes the first.
Nice snap underneath. There's your foul just as the shot was going up. Again, if you don't want to give that easy basket, so if you can afford the foul, go right ahead and do it. Bruce makes them pay by dropping both of her free throws.
And Bruce has 8.
That press was broken very easily by the Sharks.
Right wing 3 for Hashimoto's no good. Shoemake just keep it into the near side. Tried to cross over her defender. Was diving on the floor. Maxwell and Shoemake finally orders semi-restored. Underneath, an easy lay-in is too strong for Hamill, but the second effort is in.
Shoemake is in there picking up the garbage, and she does that very well because she's aggressive. She finds she's got a good idea where the ball is going and gets herself in great position.
Out of bounds to the Sharks.
Bruce.
Shoemake with 11, Price with 11, Lasich with 12. That's 34 to 36 for the Sharks.
At least it's balanced scoring.
3 options. Actually, I think that's a pretty good number.
If you look at most basketball teams, you will see 3 players pretty much dominating as far as the scoring is concerned.
Lasich and 1.
Nice job again. You see where the shots are going for the Sharks. Primarily inside the arc, and for the most part now they're even inside the key. That ball is in. Lasich has got it. 1 step, goes up aggressively, and in it drops, and she gets a chance to go for the 3-point play the traditional way.
Crowder replaces Kendall Bivens, who was in very shortly. Lasich. Very nice player. She puts it in. I think Lasich is a player that she wanted to could continue playing after this season.
Oh, I think so. She's definitely has the tenacity to do it. She's got the wherewithal, and she's a darn smart player.
Camposti up to Crowder. Looks to try to release the ball. Having some trouble against Rodriguez, and it's stolen away by Shoemake. Rodriguez doing what a good center does, getting it off to one of her guards, Hamill. And she was fouled. In fact, no.
Yep.
Carrying calls.
Little traveling or palming or carrying. Either way, it's a turnover, and the Aptos Mariners are going to get a chance to take it out right in front of us.
Mariners trail by 18 under 2 minutes remaining third quarter. With Kurt Edwards, I'm Tim Swartz, courtside at Aptos High School. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Game 1 went to the Aptos boys by 17. High arcing 3 is no good. And the rebound is loose.
Bruce, nice job battling for it. Mariners now have an opportunity to reset for a better shot. Careful on the travel.
Camposti, strong off the basket's no good. But a foul's called. It's on the floor. Let's see what's on. That's a foul against Camposti. That's her 3rd personal. And the 5th team foul of the second half. Errant pass to the legs of Shoemake. stolen away by Aptos.
Bruce waiting for everything to set up back underneath. I think if I were Bruce, I might have tried to attack the basket. At least dribble at it. If it's not there, come back out and set my offense up again.
Backdoor pass ends up out of play. Hashimoto over to the left wing, stepping into this three-pointer, rimming it in. Hamill, just the second three of this game.
Yeah, if you're the Sharks, you don't have to shoot that three. You've got those really good percentage shots in and around the key.
St. Francis is doubling up Aptos, 42-21. The ball is out of play. St. Francis with 11-second shot clock, game clock differential. Did you pay attention to 2 for 1 when you were a coach? Didn't really care?
No, I paid attention to it, especially if I had a situation where I really needed it. You know, right now I would definitely take that 2 for 1 opportunity.
Shoemake's no good, but Rodriguez, what a heads-up play to tip it alive. And now a foul's called against Shamirja.
Sharks going to go back down and just set up defensively. They'll let the Mariners bring the ball up the floor.
Shot clock dead, 42-21. Camposti.
You know what I'm
Wild
noticing?
shot with 15 seconds left in the quarter.
It's pretty much Camposti shooting. The rest of the Mariners seem to be just putting the ball in their pocket when they get it.
Hashimoto lets it fly. It's no good. Aptos, Camposti. Oh, that time she's not going to shoot. 42-21. That was a huge third quarter. It ends up going 18-6 in favor of the St. Francis Sharks.
Yeah, that's the one that put this one completely out of sight. Doubles up the Aptos Mariners. And just watching the Mariners play, we say that they're out-quicked, and they have been quite a bit. Cade Bell over there going to draw something up. And what he's going to have to figure out how to do is resurrect this team for the fourth quarter. Whether they can come back is, it's a long shot at best. But he wants to get them playing basketball.
And definitely it's hard for them without one of their leaders, one of their senior captains, Deidre Wilson, who went down with a knee injury, who had to leave the building. DVD copies are available for $25. Want to know how to get a DVD?
Yeah, I do. Would you tell me?
Get on your computer, go to communitytv.org/dubs. Do you have a computer, Kurt?
A what?
Exactly. You don't even know what one is. 831-425-8848. If you're just watching this on TV, you don't have a computer, you want to call us up.
I've got one of those. I got a phone. It cranks. There's a battle underneath, and you can see the tenacity that they keep going at it. And Shoemake gets 2 rebounds and kicks it right back out to Price, who puts it right on in. And that's one of the big differences in the game. You see the multiple shots that the Lady Sharks were able to take. Aptos is 1, and we're coming back down the other way. The Sharks, they're getting 2 and 3 and sometimes 4 attempts at making the basket.
St. Francis. Ball was deflected, not an over and back. Yeah, and I think I said it earlier. I'm going to ask you again. Is Shoemake one of the most aggressive, if not the most aggressive freshman that you've seen coaching in the area and commentating?
Yes, in the last 10 years, without a doubt.
He has the ball and does not shy away from contact. Hashimoto, good job just to get the ball off the rim. And a foul called. Rosina Marcis was into the game for the first time today, and she decided why not shoot it. She had an open lane, and she was fouled from behind.
SCCAL had a pretty tough duo, the Pasafume sisters, that when they came through, they were very, very tough. Not only as freshmen, but all the way right on through. They did a great job of dominating the league, and they played for the SCCAL Knights. But Shoemake has shown me not only is she tenacious and very aggressive, but she plays a very smart basketball game.
Attempt number 3 after the 2 free throws are no good is deflected from Marcies. And now everybody for St. Francis has played tonight. You love to see that in the fourth quarter early.
Yeah, and Coach Clark, this is the 3rd game of the week for the Lady Sharks.
Maduka, right side, 3-pointer, nothing but net. And That's the first 3 of the game for the Mariners. You see Price, the aggressiveness. He just swipes it to the right side. Very heads-up play.
Smart job. You're right. Very heads up. Just swat it. She can't get control, but she knows where her teammates are.
Price, the right elbow, all the way to the hoop. She's fouled by Crowder, and she earns a trip to the line on the 7th team foul against the Mariners.
Price continues just to dig for it. You saw the way that she's get it, slaps the ball away, inside, knows where the defense is, spins. Aptos is just not, they're getting beat on that first step. They're reacting too quick. They're coming up on the offensive player. That player makes just a little head and shoulder fake and then goes from one side to the other and just is able to get that easy bucket, or at least an attempt at an easy bucket.
Lasich back into the game for Hashimoto. Price makes the second free throw. 12 points for her.
Here.
19-point lead.
St. Francis continuing to deny Aptos any opportunity. Good man-to-man defense. And they're keeping the ball forced outside. There's an over and back. Because I'm watching Rodriguez just go right up against Crowder, and it's just, Rodriguez is just continues to push her farther and farther away from being able to be setting up right at the free throw line. She's now moving closer and closer to the top of the key, which pushes, again, I've said it before, Aptos' offense farther away than they really want to set up and run.
We'll look at some of our games upcoming. Harbor at Scotts Valley. I think Scotts Valley came into this season as the favorite in the SCCAL. They won the league last year on the girls' side, and they were bringing back basically everybody. Santa Cruz and SoCal. Both those squads for boys and girls are undefeated. And SCCAL championships last year, the one you see right there was on the sidelines. Jennifer Watson coaching her St. Francis Shark Show championship, and you see why she can't coach this year. She's got a young daughter. 2 of them, in fact. The one daughter's helping out the other. That'll be fun to grow up with. The 2 kids both look like they're under 3.
Yeah, especially with a mom who's a great basketball player and a good you think those kids got a chance of being well-schooled in the art of basketball?
I think we'll be here for the CTV Game of the Week in 2020. Or farther back than that, actually. Maybe 2025. Norton on the fast break. No good. Shoemake just let her go. A good idea by the freshman.
No sense in making a foul when you've got a lead this size.
Lasich puts it in. Anna Lasich was 17. 21-point lead.
Aptos continues to try and just run its offense, which I think is the best way to do. Maxwell with the ball for a little bit. See how far away the pivot is? Rodriguez is just really pushing Crowder out.
Camposti, there's her patented running floater. 9 points for her, leading the Aptos Mariners. They're down by 19.
Nobody slowed the ball down until it got almost to the basket.
Price's shot is no good. She's fouled by Crowder on her second effort. 5:20 remaining in this one with Kurt Edwards. My name is Tim Swartzen. You know, I think you look at this game, you see the replay, and Price earned 2 free throws with Crowder hacking her. But I think with Deidre Wilson for Aptos, it's a very different game.
Much different game. Deidre does a nice job of being able to position. She turns and uses her body to try and push the people out of there. What's happening for the Aptos Mariners, especially on the defensive side, going for the defensive rebounds, their bigs get so far underneath the basket that they can't really do anything with it, and they are just not being able to get in a good position and use their body to screen off somebody like Lasich or Price or Shoemake to keep them away from getting any rebound.
Lasich, as you mentioned, right, you just said it. She gets the rebound.
There's the scat. Here comes the scat back.
Camposti all the way to the hoop. No good. Rebound for Ramos. And that shot is blocked out of bounds by Rodriguez.
Great job by Rodriguez, but she just kept her head looking around and spinning around, found the ball, and then when it got into the hands of somebody close to it, she'd take that shot, she gets the block.
Camposti looks to inbound it, left of the basket. That one is another block from Rodriguez. The senior center, and this jump ball going to Aptos.
First down. I do like the fact that years ago when they got the possession arrows in, it went away from the jump balls. Because at one point in time, the women's game was just a series of jump balls. The action was stopped all the time.
Mariah Rojas was fouled as she went up. 4:20 to go, 4:50 to go, 45-26. That was a 4th team foul against St. Francis. First free throw is in. Rojas gets on the scoring sheet.
Like to have a stat. One of them has it's nice to be a point. Get in the scoring column.
Second. Good.
Good job of using the legs to come right up and shoot that shot.
Shamirza loses this ball. Another jump ball called.
It's either going to be that or a dance card being pulled out of there.
Hashimoto and Rojas are about to do the twist or something.
They were lining up for a nice waltz. Hashimoto gets the ball out of bounds.
Posty steals it away. 2-on-1. Takes it herself. No good. Now Posty, 3 on the way. No good. Ball's out of play to Rodriguez, who lost it. Aptos will keep it. Down by 17, 4:25 remaining.
And we're going to have a little different formation. Everybody in line instead of the 4 corners. There's the slap of the ball. Bivens with it.
And she'll get it to go in. And the ball is lost. Aptos only down by 15. Jump ball, Aptos will get it back.
Now, if they can get this thing inside 10 points, it'd be a nice job for the Aptos Mariners to sustain a comeback and show some nice fortitude to fight all the way back through. Not all the way to the win, but keep fighting.
All the way to the hoop. Floater, I love it. That was a great idea from Shamirza. I think that's a misused shot. Or unused, not enough, is just the floater in the lane.
It's not used that much.
It's a high degree of difficulty, but it's impossible to stop.
You can't stop it, and if you got that nice touch, nice little shooter's roll that time, dropping it right on in was Rojas. But yeah, you're right. If you can get that thing and just flip it up in the air, as long as you've got that nice little soft touch, instead of trying to rattle the boards.
Shamirza, freshman, long pass, get Posty. He's got to have at least 8 or 9 steals today. Rojas throws it up and in. 13-point game with 3:20 to go. And now you see some of the starters ready to check in for St. Francis. Timeout called for by Coach Clark.
That was a good run, and it has been a good run for the Aptos Mariners. Their defense has definitely come alive, and yes, there've been some substitution changes all the way through. Nice long pass, but that's usually what happens when you have that long pass. It's going to be picked off. Rojas comes down, and here in the 4th quarter, she has 6 points. Let's drop into the St. Francis huddle.
That's silly. We just gave up like 8, 10 points just like that. No more.
And Sharks on 3, 1, 2, 3, Sharks!
Yeah, it's a good point. Just giving away points for St. Francis.
Well, there's one thing that Coach Clark is doing, and I applaud him for it. He had a big gap as far as the lead is concerned, so you're going to bring in some players to give them some experience. And not during the typical little garbage time where there's 1 minute or 2 minutes left. It's still real basketball time out there. So I applaud him for getting some of his bench or his number 2 team in there to play. And now we're kind of looking out there and seeing the starters back in the ball game.
Up top, Ramirez, who's one of the original 5, losing the ball, trying to cut it to Lasich.
Too many people down there defensively for the Aptos Mariners.
Left wing, wide open 3 for Haduka is no good. That would have cut it to a 10-point game, and Ross just lost the ball.
That's one of those situations down there in the corner where a bounce pass would have been far better than just a direct pass. You know, those direct passes when you're short, you know, really close to each other, those are hard to handle. Bounce pass, much easier.
Ball is loose, tied up, and Camposti will somehow end up with this. Camposti, pull up, no good. I think she has every single shot in the book.
And she's tried every single shot in the book except the slam dunk.
47-34 with 2:32. Another alternating possession. And there's another starter coming into this game, Shoemake.
She's got a good 2 or 3 minute rest. So we'll see how some fresh legs on Shoemake make a difference. Look at her look inside. When she finds the lane, you cannot leave her alone. Tim, you notice the defense opens up the opportunity instead of staying right in front of her. And as soon as they separate, she drives the lane. And she gets to go to the charity stripe.
Loud thud.
And the sound just makes that rim sound like it's an unforgiving rim. Actually pretty soft.
Yeah, both these rims, very soft. Over the back call. It's against Rodriguez.
And that's a good time, it's a good job by the Mariners to actually be able to turn and square out, something that they have really not done very well throughout tonight's game.
.213 and counting, 14-point lead for the St. Francis Sharks. Lasich called for a foul, her second personal, 5th team foul with 2:12 remaining.
Yeah, she was trying to keep up with Camposti, and that is almost an impossible thing to do. Nice pass by Bivens.
Free throw line jumper, no good for Haduka. And the fast break ran by Martinez. Lays it off, Shoemake. Right hand layup good. Give her 14 for the freshman, the second leading scorer of this game.
If you run the floor like the Sharks have done and you're a 3-on-1, Camposti's got to figure out what to do. Stop the ball as it and hope people come back.
Again, 3-on-1. Bounce pass, Shoemake. Lays it up and no good.
She fights and gets the ball back.
Maybe a better thing for Coach Clark because you could take some time off the clock.
Yeah, I would right now. Just run your offense. If the shot's there, take it. Martinez does.
1:20 remaining, Kurt. It looks like the St. Francis Sharks will improve to 2-2 in lead.
There again, when you're inside there and you've got a short pass, Ramos was trying to get the ball to number 20, Bivens, and she just fired a bullet. It went off the hand of a Shark and out of bounds, so the Aptos Mariners will take it out of bounds underneath their own bucket. But sometimes you've got to look for alternative ways to get the ball to your teammates. A bounce pass is always an effective pass. It's a little harder to intercept. Don't drag your pivot foot.
Double dribble. Just about a minute left, 16-point lead for St. Francis.
And St. Francis is going to take their time, run the offense, keep running the pattern. I'll tell you, when I would coach basketball and we would run our offense, that's what we would do. During the practice time, we had to run the offensive pattern 3 or 4 times. Lasich dropped that one in.
Give her 20.
We'd run that pattern 3 or 4 times against whatever defense we happened to put up against them. So they just got the use of continually moving with the basketball. Sharks aren't giving up defensively. They continue to play tough defense.
Lasich takes it away all the way to the hoop. 22 for number 12. 7-point fourth quarter for Lasich to help put this one away. Lasich another steal, and she will hold it up, and that'll do it. 55-34 is the final. The St. Francis Sharks improved to 2-2 in league, while Aptos joins them at 2-2 in league. We'll take a break. We'll wrap up this doubleheader coming up next on CTV Sports. St. Francis found the basket a lot. They win 55-34 over the Aptos Mariners here on our CTV doubleheader of the week. With Kurt Edwards, I'm Tim Swartz, and Kurt, we knew coming into this game St. Francis played defense, but they absolutely shut down Aptos.
They did. They pushed the ball down the floor, but defensively, Aptos could not get into any of their transition game with the exception of Composti, but they couldn't get the ball inside, and credit that to the Sharks. Very tough defense.
And we'll take a look at how the second half went down. At the half, it was a nice lead of 24-15 for St. Francis. Aptos got back a little bit more, but after three quarters, it was a 21-point lead for the Sharks.
It was, and one of those reasons was the long-range bombing of Shoemake. She was very effective. Aptos continued to try and whittle away with Composti, driving in and slashing in and getting some layups, but that was just not going to be the case. As Hamill drops a three, and then you're going to watch Aptos again with a long-range bomb. They keep trying to come all the way on back, but I'll tell you one thing. The Sharks was just way too much for them as Lasich was inside, and that's where a lot of the Sharks' points came from, inside the paint, and Aptos could not stop them.
Yeah, Lasich with 22, 14 for Shoemate, and there was 12 from Price as well, the senior. So those three players were the keys for St. Francis and their victory. They improved to 2-2 in the SCCAL, and Aptos falls to 2-2. So coming up next week, we'll have the Harbor Pirates and the Scotts Valley Vikings in Scotts Valley. We mentioned their girls team throughout the broadcast. They're probably the favorites maybe in this SCCAL.
Yeah, the Pirates and the Falcons. It's going to be a fun one to watch, doubleheader. The Harbor boys not doing very well, but the girls pretty good, and the Falcon girls, excellent season.
And Scotts Valley's got a very good boys player, Jake Pasquini, who's helped them to a 3-1 record. So that'll do it here from Aptos. It's a split. The boys of Aptos defeat St. Francis. The St. Francis girls victorious in game number 2. For Kurt Edwards and our entire cast, my name is Tim Swartz. We'll see you next time here on CTV Sports.